Holy cow, what an incredible day. This is day one, and it's only partially over. Today is day one of the 3-day Bitcoin Conference 2025 here in Vegas. It's known as Industry Day. It's also this year called Code and Country Day. It's the first of 3 days, and it was packed. It was extremely packed. There was so many people. It's estimated that roughly 25% of all passes sold for the Bitcoin conference this year was the whale passes and the industry passes, which gets you into this first day of, so you get all 3 days. So we're expecting 3 to 4 times as many people tomorrow and the next day. Vegas can handle big crowds, but this is going to put a strain on the Expo Center here at the Venetian. Day started out pretty great. I actually ran into Gary Cardone pretty quickly. Saw him a bunch of times last night. He was at one of the tables, and I didn't feel like interrupting him while he was gambling. And then Scott Melker came over, they were chatting. I didn't really want to interrupt that. I probably shouldn't care as much, but it's before the conference starts, and they're just trying to relax and unwind. But it's kind of cool meeting him. I never try to judge these influencers or whatever you want to call them when I meet them on just that short interaction, especially if we're not having any kind of meaningful conversation. So Gary kind of looked like he was just uninterested and just wanted to take off. But maybe he's just a jerk. I don't know. It wouldn't bother me. I still like the guy. But I got a chance to just say hi to him, get a picture with him. Was able to go grab breakfast at the whale room in the deep, the VIP vault, whatever they call that. And when they said it was premium food and drink, they weren't kidding. They have a lot of drinks there. They had some beers and a whole bunch of different mixed type alcohol. And I don't drink, so I can't really judge that very well. But it looks like they had a pretty good selection. And then the food though for breakfast was pretty legit. They had some pretty good tasting scrambled eggs, pretty fluffy, pretty nice, pretty good. They had sausage there, but it was chicken sausage, which for those of you that know me, that's my jam. I'm a big chicken fan, so especially when it comes to sausage, I like chicken sausage. And then they had some endless tubs of just bacon, incredible amounts of bacon. They had a lot of other things there that I don't eat, like pastries, breads, stuff like that. But a lot of selections there, so I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed that breakfast. It definitely was needed because I was kind of rushing to get down there and didn't really get anything to eat in the morning. I just actually had a protein shake and ran down. So that was awesome. The Enterprise stage had a couple things I wanted to go see. The first two, unfortunately, I couldn't even get a seat. There was standing room only. It was a lot smaller than I remember it being other years, and it was really packed. I don't know if that's just going to be because today's Industry Day, so everybody's there, but it's the same amount of people. It's not like they're just going to go to today and not go tomorrow. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Unfortunately, I missed Stephen Cole. I was really excited to hear his part. It wasn't a very long part, but he's an Arizona Bitcoiner. I guess technically I should say Florida. He's moving to Florida. Actually, already has moved to Florida for a few months because he's doing a startup company called Orchestra. But he's an Arizona Bitcoiner. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see that. I also had another scheduling issue. The astronaut Chung Wing, that was his name, was going to be on the Nakamoto stage at a specific time, and I showed up at that time, and I double-checked the schedule this morning when I was walking downstairs. And apparently as soon as I got there and they invited the next group out and it wasn't him, he had apparently gone about like an hour and 20 minutes before. So there was some last-minute update after this morning that I did not get, and unfortunately I missed on his part. He's an astronaut that went into space, and he's a Bitcoiner and a couple other things. So I was kind of disappointed about that, but it's on the Nakamoto stage. So as long as it looked like it got moved to the same stage just a little bit earlier, so I'll be able to stream that later whenever I want. Shortly after that, I got to go sit down in the capsule, the Blue Origin New Shepard capsule that they have on site there. I uploaded it to my Instagram. I'm sure I'll make a full video at the end of all this, and I'll include that. But I'm not gonna lie, that was a good highlight. That was pretty cool. The opening is pretty small. I was like, ooh man, am I gonna be able to get in there? Number one, I'm a big dude. Number two, I don't bend very easily, and I was a little concerned about that, but it worked out fine. I actually got in the chair, sat down. They don't have the harnesses there, but I just imagine myself sitting back there and looking out the window, and they had an employee there that was talking about it and answering questions and things like that. You know, I talked to him obviously about SpaceX because I'm really into that. Trying my best not to make it seem like I'm an elitist because I'm sure a lot of people have the same kind of commentary about SpaceX when you're talking to somebody who's a fan of Blue Origin, because Blue Origin really hasn't done much in 20 some years, and SpaceX is setting record after record after. Here I am already sounding like I'm a jerk about it, but I'm really trying to get some information from him. He was very kind, very polite about it, but you know, obviously he doesn't like all the SpaceX questions, and I wouldn't either in his position. So anyway, I got some good video from in there, and honestly, I think I'm gonna go sit in there every day. Like I'll sit in there tomorrow, and I'll do it the day after. I get some more pictures and video. Just how many opportunities am I gonna have in my life to sit in a space capsule? Even if it's not a Dragon from SpaceX, even the New Shepard from Blue Origin, worth it. So that was really, really cool. Then I checked out the bazaar. They had you know, different things that they were selling. I talked to some of the people trying to sell stuff there. I ended up going back over to the Enterprise stage about an hour before Michael Saylor came there, which worked out. I was able to grab an open seat. I had to sit there for a while, but the two talks right before Michael Saylor's speech was up were from other people that were from Strategy, the company that used to be MicroStrategy. The CEO was right before him, another executive was before him. So it was kind of interesting, and it was nice to kind of get off my feet for a little bit and you know, relax while I was waiting for that. But it was packed. I mean, it was not only standing room only, 2 or 3 people deep. There was a couple hundred people outside that just couldn't get in. And then one of the really cool things that I did not anticipate, Arch Public, they're a logarithmic trading company, has their own suite. It's kind of like a meeting room, and I was able to get into some of their events, and they're basically hosting in a room interviews from Scott Milker, his podcast, The Wolf of Wall Street. And I've talked about him before. He's probably one of my favorite podcasters. Not him because of him, but because of who he interviews and what kind of dynamics he has in those interviews. So I was really excited for that, and it actually was pretty cool. So go up a couple floors to the 3rd floor to their special room, and there was only 20 people in there when I walked in, and they're interviewing Bo Hines, a member of Trump's team. And I'm just standing right there while they film it. And that was really cool. And of course, there was a senator, John Deaton, the guy that ran against Elizabeth Warren, was in there. Andrew Parrish, he's I forget his title. Is he the CEO, or he's basically the Arch Public guy? He was there. Shook his hand again, chatted with him. And then right after that was going to be Jack Mallers. And he walked in 20 minutes after I got there, and I'm like, I love this kid. I love everything he does with Strike, and what he does as a person, what he stands for as a man, what his goals are for in the future. He's just a really cool kid, and I probably should stop calling him a kid because I think he turned 30 recently. But anyway, he's very successful, wildly successful guy, super energetic about the space, cares about people. Really cool to see him. Very kind too. I mean, I asked him for a picture, and he's very friendly with everybody. So that was probably the highlight of the day, honestly. I don't have heroes like that. I don't look up to people. I don't put these people on a pedestal. But as far as people I wanted to meet and get a picture with, he was definitely one of the top ones right there. So that was really exciting. So tomorrow, kind of to wrap the video up here, hopefully, I think I'm gonna skip the first hour or two of tomorrow. I was gonna go down and see JD Vance. He's probably the highest as far as Secret Service is concerned person that's attending. The Trump sons are there, a couple other people, like I said, Bo Hines, senators, whatever. But with JD Vance there's going to be a Secret Service presence. They were even saying, so for people that have the Whale Pass, so we have designated seating areas right up front in the Nakamoto stage. They're saying for you to even get a chance to make sure you get a seat to listen to it, you got to get there by 7. And this talk isn't until 9:30. So realistically, you're going to want to get in line around 5:30, especially if you have a festival pass. So it's not anything like last year in Nashville trying to see Trump with all those hours of waiting in line, and then additional, 6, 7, 8 hours just sitting in the Nakamoto stage waiting for Trump to come up and speak. So this won't be as bad, but I can stream it from my hotel room. I can sleep in. I can then kind of meander on down afterwards and still catch nearly everything I want to. and I'm leaning more towards doing that. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of excited, to go see JD Vance. I'm like, cool, I got cool seat if I can get there early enough. But yeah, I'm gonna sleep in, I think. So we'll see. I might change my mind last minute, and I'll give you an update on that. Like I said, the day's really only half over. I mean, the conference is done. I think there's actually a handful of things going on, but for the most part, it's done. So now, I mean, I'm gonna go. I got a ticket to a show up on the plaza, and then I'm gonna check out Fremont Street. There, it's probably my favorite part of Vegas, and the Steak and Shake that's right there does take Bitcoin, so I'll hit that up. We have a couple other Arizona folks coming in. I think one just landed, actually probably just like 30 minutes ago, hour ago. I'll probably meet him around that area, and then another one drives in. She'll be actually arriving any minute, I assume. Not sure if she's gonna have time to head all the way up there, but I think that's the last of the Arizona Bitcoiners that I know personally that are coming, that I want to connect with while we're up here. So yeah, pretty exciting. Just an epic day one. Really, really, really good day one. I'm really excited. A lot of value in it, I felt. I'll give you the updates for tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I don't know how late I'll be up tonight. I'm not 20 anymore, so I'm not looking forward to getting back at like 2 or 3. Just to wake up around 6 or 7, or maybe I can sleep until 8 and get ready and go down. So yeah, if any of you are here, I'm curious what your thoughts are on day one if you were able to go. I know most ticket holders are going to be there for day 2 and 3, which it's just going to be great. It's going to be a great time. All right, well then I'm going to sign off and catch you on the next video.